For those of you that are joining us on YouTube in the future, I forgot to start recording right away, so we're playing against Sapphire Diamond Control, which means we are going to be boarding into the Storm portion of our deck here. I guess I didn't do my Hex reduces variance, and I hate the cluttered... How is the UI... What is cluttered about this interface? Can you be specific? I love when people post, and this is actually curious to me. So like, can you be constructive and tell me what's cluttered here? Because my stream interface is a little bit cluttered, but I'm just gonna hide things here really quick. So like, this is on my stream, and this is on my stream, and like, my face is on my stream, and like my sponsors are on my stream. So like, what's cluttered about this? If anything, this interface is much less cluttered than Magic Online, where you have a bunch of lands in play. You zoom in to read the cards. Like in basically every game, any game that has meaningful text on the card, you're not going to be able to read the text of the card while it's in play. These cards are bigger than the cards are on the board on Magic Online. All right, sweet. We've drawn 2 reanimation spells now. Let's go ahead and Withering Gaze my opponent and get a feel for what's going on in their hand. Let's just look at their hand to take a card out of it. They have 2 Silver Talent Adjudicators. Okay, well, that doesn't do a whole lot. Let's play this, and then play this. Non-resource on top of my deck. Oh, right, my frame. There you go. You want ugly and bland. Okay, ugly is subjective. You want bland. Bland is objective. Magic Online is objectively bland. Which is fine. You're allowed to like bland. Yes, and this is actually, can I change the setting while I'm playing? Background, where is it? Only use basic battle board, apply. It doesn't change mid-game. Okay, so I'm gonna uncheck that. The battle board this is an aesthetic. There is a very bland battle board that doesn't have extra stuff on it. And you have a setting where you can turn it off so that way you don't even have to see your opponent's custom battle boards. I just like the subjective prettiness. I think the things that are subjectively pretty are nice. Which again, that's definitely a subjective metric. And I often play with different, like I don't use the basic battle board at all because I like having things that look nice. And this one I had to win in a tournament. OmniZ, if you look here, there are... If you look here, there's a budget deck there, budget configuration of that deck there. All right, Transmogrifade is actually a pretty good pickup because it means if my opponent has a dark card, I can Transmogrifade it to next turn. I don't think they have a high contrast mode. I'm going Withering Gaze again here because I drew 3 cards last turn, so sweet. So this card's been modified by my opponent's deck to draw extra cards, and now we're going to take it away from them. And they will hopefully be very sad. I'm going to play this out and grab a charge here as opposed to a color. I have this Permafrost to make the Rotten Rancor be shardless. I don't want to just Mordrom's Gift back my Aegilus this turn because my opponent has Darkheart in their hand. And Withering Gaze here, it doesn't just discard the card we take away from them, it puts it into our deck. So that Arcane Focus with the extra draws on it is in our deck right now and we can draw it. Yep. Eternal Seeker's a pretty good pickup too, so I'm gonna go ahead and make this shardless. I don't really have anything I want to discard in my hand right now, so I'm just gonna wait on my champion power. Like, this Eternal Seeker's like a pretty big mamma jamma, right? But I am just going to like be able to cast it next turn, which is one of the reasons why I really like this deck. You could just like cast most of the fatties at it. Is there a decent burn deck in Hex? When I play Hex a while back, I had a lot of fun with it. There's two different Ruby-based aggressive decks in Hex this season. They're both closer to like Ruby Sly type decks or Troop aggressive based decks. They're not like action-based burn decks like Yodel was. I'm trying Transmogrifade, this Dark Heart here, so we don't have to this makes us sacrifice a card every turn, so Transmogrifading it will make it so that's not the case. They're rune binding their thing, that's fine. Huh. I'm gonna hit my champion power now and bin this Eternal Seeker. Yeah. I'm gonna bin this Eternal Seeker, and then I'm gonna Rotten Rancor it back into play, killing the Silver Talon Adjudicator. So this returns a troop from my discard pile to play, and it fights the thing that I target. And then when Eternal Seeker enters play, I choose a number, and then I void all cards that have the chosen cost. So in this case, I voided the rune that my opponent turned their Dark Heart into. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with Yodel. So we know my opponent has another Silver Talon Adjudicator in their hand. What's the average cost? So the deck I'm playing right now is actually a little bit more on the expensive end. I believe it's about $150 or so. The competitive decks tend to range somewhere between $50 to $150. This one is definitely on the more expensive end of the metric. If you check out this list here, it has a bunch of budget Hex decks that start at around, there's two of them that are 20 bucks each, and then they range all the way up to the Redlings deck is about $100 at the end. That's actually the best deck in the current constructed format. There's lots of wrong order from the opponent. Yeah, they probably should Oracle Sog first, right? Sweet, we drew another Rancor and a Theorize here. I guess I need a Permafrost for that, right? Been a Seeker for now. Play the Seer out in case they play another Dark Heart. Clash of Steel would be kind of annoying. If they go Clash plus Dark Heart, they could get back into this game. But if they don't have Clash and Dark Heart, we're in a very good spot. Even if they have both of those, we're not in a bad spot. Yep, there's the Clash. I'm going to keep the Seeker. I'd rather have that in my discard pile, I think. Although I guess I already have a Seeker in here. Well, there's the Clash Dark Heart. But we need to hit a... We need to hit a non-slow Shard or a Prism. Mordrom's Gift also works. Let's go ahead and put this Eternal Seeker into play. And when this comes into play, I get to choose a number. In this case, I'm going to choose 4 and void my opponent's 4-cost card. I'm going to wait on this Theorize for a second here. Again, just like don't have anything I really actively want to discard, so I'm just going to sit on it. I write for the main Hex website, hextcg.com. Actually, an article up there yesterday about the Redlings deck. Ooh, we knew they had a Silver Talon, so they get to draw a couple extra cards here. That's fine. Play the Seer out. I'm going to loot now because we could draw into my Prophesized card. Really don't mind binning another Seer. I think we're winning this race, right? So, like, The thing that's important to recognize about Runebind, which this is why I undervalued it personally when I first read it, is Runebind is card disadvantage if you aren't stopping an interrupt with it. So it's actually just card disadvantage if you aren't stopping an interrupt with it. Another adjudicator. Yep, that's annoying. That's a great draw, so we can stop one of their interrupts. I'm going to try and put this into play. Because if this doesn't resolve to void these, I don't want to attack with this. It's very, very powerful. And again, like, once we started playing with it, we saw that it was powerful and flexible and a very reasonable card, right? So, like, no one who had played a bunch with Runebind was like, this card's bad. It's like when we were reading spoiler season, we're like, this card is card disadvantage and seems like an awkward tempo play. Attacking with that doesn't really do anything. Let's just get in here with this. And again, just like, don't really have anything I actively want to discard, so I'm just going to hold this Theorize. I'd also like to hold this Runebind up for the turn. Yep. So what does Runebind do? Runebind's kind of this, like, interesting delay card. It takes a card on the chain, which is like the stack or in play, and it turns it into this constant, this mysterious rune. And basically, it puts a card in like this stasis form where it stays as this mysterious rune until the person who controls it has a resource enter their hand. But because it's a constant that sits on the battlefield, you can interact with it in a bunch of different ways. So like, Eternal Seeker can void runes in play. My opponent's Dark Hearts can make me sacrifice the rune. So like if you Runebind them and they don't have any other cards, then so Dark Heart makes them sacrifice. It's just like this really flexible card. Man, we are out controlling the control deck and it feels great. More than good. It's great. All right, grab that. Non-resource on top of my deck, so I can now cast this guy. I can't cast this Rotten Rancor yet because I don't have a Wild or a Permafrost. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's just so many different things. Like, this is going to be a good example. I bet my opponent has a second Totem Trap here. Or they just wanted to cycle that one. So, Into the Unknown. Huh. This would get rid of all my other copies of Eternal Seeker, so I'm actually going to Runebind my Eternal Seeker here. Into the Unknown is still going to put the rune back in my hand. And it's going to turn it into something else. But at least this way, I still have Eternal Seekers left over. I don't think I want to play this out. I think I'd rather discard it to Theorize, so... It still bounces, but... Huh. I'm actually going to bin this Seeker here. Because since we drew another one too, this way I get to Mordrom's Gift for this back and like put pressure in play. And I get to void their thing and I get to do this while holding Runebind up. So that way if my opponent has some meaningful interaction, I get to Runebind them. I'm actually going to play this map spot out here too. So that way if they have a Dark Heart and they win a fight, we can... Oh, actually this is going to be lethal next turn, right? Pay 4 and give it 2 power. Technically pay 4 twice. Yeah, right? The Thunderfield Seers seem like a good... I don't know if the cards I cut for them were correct, but the Thunderfield Seers feel good. Alright. I'm just gonna give this plus 4 power and try and kill them here. I can do this while leaving Runebind up. Whoa, my opponent's going to be sad about that. So this reverts and recasts it when it comes into play. So this is going to turn back into an Eternal Seeker because it was only that map spot because my opponent Into the Unknown did. That's rude. I'm just going to Runebind this. Because these two are lethal, so like if they don't have another thing here. That's okay, sure. That's fine. They're still behind here. Like they have no cards. We've got like these cards in our hand. And like whatever they do next turn, we should just be able to Runebind it and then kill them. Might as well loot here since I drew a resource. No, they're at 6. Yeah, they should just be dead. We get to Runebind whatever they do. Alright, so I think we want to board into the Storm deck against them still, because Aegilus is pretty terrible. I think we leave in some Eternal Seekers. Those seem fine. Exarch of the Eggs can come out. So, for those of you that are new to Hex or haven't seen this deck before, the Storm part of this deck is Syzygy reduces the cost of an action whenever we play an action and all other actions with the same name. And then these escalate cards, after we play them, they put themselves back into our deck and make their effect get more potent. So basically, we play a bunch of Bounty of the Magus to draw more and more cards and making these cheaper with Syzygy. And then eventually, Violet's Caress makes us deal damage to our opponent and puts itself back into our deck, and we draw a bunch of cards and caress them a bunch, and then draw a bunch of cards and caress them a bunch, and eventually they die. Yes, charges currently are exclusively spent on activating your champion power. I wouldn't be too surprised if at some point that changed and there were other things that you could spend charges on, but currently, as a resource, charges are only your champion power. I think this is what I want to do. It seems fine. Do I want the 4th Eternal Seeker might be better than the 2nd Mordrom's Gift? Just because, like, we only have these to bring back. Yeah, I think the 4th Seeker is probably better than the 2nd gift. But other than that, I think I like this plan. We could technically bring back Thunderfield Seer, I suppose. Yeah, this hand's great, right? It's got like Thunderfield Seer early. It's got interaction for a dark card. It's got a Withering Gaze for when we want to start doing something meaningful. I think we have plenty of thresholds here at this point, like famous last words, right? I'm gonna play this Seer, and especially with these two Permafrosts here, I'm gonna play this and gain a charge. I need a 2nd Sapphire and a single Blood, and like this will get me one of those, and like the Focus will probably find me the other, or my Champion Power will. Opponent's gonna miss their 3rd resource drop, or did we just auto pass by mistake? Nope, we're gonna miss their 3rd resource drop. That's good for us. Focus, see what we find. I mean, that's something I'm hoping to fix here. To be fair. Am I gonna Withering Gaze them? I think I want to Withering Gaze them. No, I guess I don't have to, right? I'm gonna Permafrost this. No, I'm not gonna Withering Gaze here, because if they miss a resource drop again, they'll have to discard the hand size, which seems great for us. I think the Seers might help, Ace. I want to try that for sure. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. You want this? Box, yeah. So, like, and this doesn't happen that often in Hex because, like, Hex is so much like Fate Weave and Selection that, like, usually your control decks don't miss land drops, but, like, control matchups of old, you generally want to just, like, when your opponent's missing resource drops like that, I don't know, like, Ace, so, like, Part of the problem against Redlings is, like, we just kept coming up, like, one turn short. So, like, having this card that, like, cycles later and, like, blocks something meaningful seems... I probably should have runebound that. There's probably merit to runebinding that. Syzygy's a good draw. So Syzygy, again, is going to make all of our actions cheaper. I'm going to play this out before, so that way I can protect this Heart's Whisper with a Runebind, I think. I also like that Thunderfield Seer gives us random extra poopers to beat back Dark Hearts, which is nice. And this Runebind draws us a card because it was prophesized by the Seer, so we gotta remember we have an extra draw there. Again, not quite hitting my champion power just yet. I want to save that for when I'm looking for some things to solve problems in the late game. Blood. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit this. I've got an extra one queued up here. Yeah, at this point, I'd rather have the ice than the well, I think. So ice lets me Fate Weave, so it can guarantee me a non-resource down the line. And I'm just gonna keep on slow and steady, just like keep making my resource drops, keep building up cards in my hand interaction. If they play like a Dark Heart, I can Transmogrifade it, which feels good. Just like poking away with this Thunderfield Seer here. They've hopefully stumbled just long enough that we're going to be able to really get them. Transmog. Oh, this was a mistake. I should have done this post-combat because they could get a... It does not have speed, but it could have had speed. So, the first Violet's Caress doesn't kill anything meaningful in their deck outside of Thunderfield Seer, so I'm just going to go ahead and cast this now. It triggers the Syzygy for the future one, and it lets the next Caress that we play, so what I'm looking for, lets the next Caress that we play kill a Silver Talon Adjudicator. I'm going to guarantee a non-resource on top of my deck here with this one. I'm going to go ahead and hit my champ power so we can loot this away for a non-resource. Sign me up. For like bounties of the Magus at this point to get snowballing. This card is so much worse than Guidance, it's unreal. So much worse than Guidance. And we are flooding a little bit here now. So it's kind of sad since we've played two. I'm not going to try and Runebind this at end of turn because I would like to try and guarantee that my Runebind resolves. So I would like to Withering Gaze before I try and interact with this, just so I can get a better feel for what's going on. Alright, sure. Do this, put a non-resource on top of my deck, likely in action, and play this to prophesize. In general, Withering Gaze is so efficient in terms of resources, you want to wait to play it until the turn you plan to do something, because it gives our opponent the largest possible chance to draw something meaningful that we want to interact with. Man, their hand is stacked. Alright, well, let's take a weave into nothing, I guess. Their hand is very, very good. Huh. I'm just gonna do this and cantrip this now. If they want to spend a Runebind on this, they could spend a Runebind on this. I have a lot of poopers to sacrifice here, Ace, so I don't think so. Especially considering I have these draws coming up. So hopefully we draw an action here that's double prophesized that I can play it with Runebind protection. It was the single worst draw in our deck. the single worst draw in our deck there. It was a non-seeker, so like, actually, we were, if other than Syzygy, we would have been guaranteed to draw a Seeker or a Prophesize card there. And like, now we're not going to be able to fight through their Weave plus their Runebinds, which kind of sucks. Unless they spend a bunch of resources this turn. Hopefully they play like Silver Talon Adjudicator and stuff. I think so, Ace. Yup. Alright. Feels bad, man. I'm gonna Runebind this now. Dece. For those who are unaware how these prophecies interact with my opponent's runebinds, if my opponent runebinds this, I still get to draw 2 cards. I won't get to draw 2, discard 1 from the text on this, but I'm still going to draw 2 cards from the prophecies. The bounty of the Magus here, which makes all my other bounties cheaper. Violet's Caress. I'm gonna loot here because I really don't need this Caress. He says as he draws another Caress. Oh, to recast the Theorize? Maybe? Maybe? I don't think so. Because this is gonna revert when we replay it, right? So like, if we cast this, it's still going to, what's the word I'm looking for? It's still only, it's not going to draw 2 additional cards. We don't get the prophecy a second time. And I think at this point, no, I'm not going to caress them directly. I am going to sacrifice the Syzygy here in case we hit a resource. This lets me cast Theorize. Man, that's a tilt. So we know they have a Runebind in their hand, and we know they have a Weave into Nothing in their hand. I'm gonna Runebind this to try and bait out one of their counters. You want fish? You want pretzels? Okay, deal. Sweet. I'm gonna caress their dome here just to gain a little bit of life and to make them free. You want this?
Oh, whoa.
So we have to sacrifice this now. I guess I could sit on that, right? Like, make them use resources later. Hi, dork. Sack their Liner Paw site. We're probably just getting beat down with the amount of counters that they have in their hand. We don't have any prophecies out left. That's... Yep. Be dead on board here. I'm pretty sure we're on the 0 outer. Let's draw a card, though. Yep, they have a counter here. Those are empty, dude. I think I want to stay on the game plan that we have here. So one of the things that I did when I brought in these extra Thunderfield Seers for this configuration is I cut some of the Transmogrifades, which might be wrong, but I don't know. We have Eternal Seekers to get rid of Dark Hearts too. That turn... No, you do if it's the one cost Coyotel too. Because how the one cost, how Thunderfield Seer works with Runebind, the rune still resolves. So you still played the card, and the rune has the text on this. When this resolves, draw a card. I don't think that's strictly true, Ace, because we can't transmog 1-drops against the aggressive decks. You can't transmog 1-drops in this deck. In a deck where you can Transmogrifade their 1-drops, I would agree with you. It's probably a wash. In this deck, we can't transmog their 1-drops. Because they turn into Polyberry Pouches half the time, and then we can't Aegilus them. Double Seers, guaranteed to make their Adjudicators a little bit worse here. And start pushing some early damage. Get out, go on the 1-1 aggro plan. I might just resolve this bounty of the Magus next turn. See, I think the Ruby matchup's harder than the Red Links matchup. Because they're more consistent. Runebind's a D-Straw. I'm just going to go ahead and resolve this bounty of the Magus while I don't have any counters up. Get our next one up to a guaranteed draw 2. That last game, we didn't see any bounties early either, which was definitely not great for us. Hopefully they just, like, tap out for Landing Plot Sight next turn, and then we can, like, Heart's Whisper into another resource guaranteed. Resource is a great draw here, because it means I can play this Heart's Whisper with a Runebind up. I think I'm going to guarantee a non-resource here, just so I don't really want to flood out again. And we hit a resource anyway. So again, when you Fate Weave there, it only guarantees that one of the 2 draws is a non-resource. So the second one was a resource here. And we've boarded out the Rotten Rancors, so this is going to make a charge for us. Since we already have double Sapphire, single blood. I think I'm just going to Runebind this to draw 2 cards at this point. This might be a little bit dangerous, but I think at this point I want to just, like, generate some velocity. Because they get to Fate Weave a resource to the top here, which kind of sucks for us. But it is going to slow them down a little bit. Alright, what am I doing? I'm going to start with this, because if we find a Syzygy, I want to play it before I play this. Transmogrifade's okay. And do non-resource with this. I hit my champ power here, probably binning this Primal Prism. Certainly binning the Primal Prism. Play this out. I guess I put myself in a position where their Adjudicator can draw cards now, which kind of sucks. So maybe I just want to just pass with the Runebind up so I can Runebind the Adjudicator. Whoa, they Fate Weaved a non-resource to the top of their deck last turn? The greed. We could have gotten punished by Shard Guidance there, but thankfully we weren't. I'm gonna go ahead and focus here, but I think I want to just leave up these violet. Oh, Bounty of the Magus is great. I already played a resource for the turn. I think I want to just leave up these Violet's Caresses rather than playing like Theorize. I don't have anything I really actively want to discard. And now, when they do this, oh, I guess we both have 6 cards, don't we? So yes, that's fine to resolve. So we're 25% to lose our Aegilus, basically. All right, so I'm gonna send a point up here, and then I'm gonna send a 2-ball at this Silver Talon Adjudicator. And then they don't get to draw cards. They will get to gain life because I've gained 3 now, but that's fine. Heart's Whisper here for non-resource. Again, doing that now so that way we get to make sure it resolves. I don't think I have anything I really want to discard here, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pass the turn for now. What's going on, Griffin Bruce? Yeah, I like this deck a lot. I may play this weekend just because it's fun. If I feel like winning, I'm 10 out of 10 gonna play Redlings, but I'm kind of having fun playing this deck, so I think I might play it. Though I'm kind of starting to wonder if going down on Withering Gazes makes this matchup harder than it needs to be. I think I'm gonna bin a Caress at this point, actually. I've been a Caress. I think we need 4 of those to win. Famous last words. Can't bin a second one. Already burned 2 Runebinds this game. Yep. I'm probably just supposed to Caress this, actually, right? Maybe I'm supposed to save both of these and just, like, double Caress the bird down, so that way when they counter... Because they could counter this first one, right? Feel pretty bad if that got countered. Taking their clock off the table is pretty important, though. They left Aldurthan's Glory in against me. Okay. Sure. I guess they do need to kill me? It's really weird. Would really like to draw a Withering Gaze or a Runebind here so we can like force these bounties of the Magus through. Syzygy's not terrible. This is drawing 3 cards at this point. Hopefully my opponent taps low at some point and I get to just like force these in. This puts pressure on them to have to respond to things. Hopefully they like stick a Darkheart here, and then we get to like transmog through it. Into the unknown that. I think that's fine. Because if they stick a Darkheart here, they're gonna fight over these transmogs, and then we'll get to cast and hopefully resolve these bounties of the Magus. Alright, I'm gonna try these in response. Whoa, that resolved. Alright. Tanker Truck used to be an Eternal Seeker. Am I just letting this happen now? I guess I could just Runebind this. But I guess I feel like I could probably just like grind through at this point, right? Like my bounties are drawing. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this happen. I feel like I could just grind through whatever they put into play at this point. Especially if I have like this Runebind to protect from a counterspell. Play a resource. Yep. Yeah, I agree. One cost, draw 5. Your move. Have to discard some cards here, that's fine. Like, make some shard drops here. It's fine. Spend some resources at end step here. Send 5 to your dome. I have no idea what they could possibly have in hand. It's a good question. Good question. They could have like a bunch of removal, right? Like transmogs and clashes and crap. This is 13 points of damage though, so we're just like one more caress away from killing them. Maybe I'm supposed to fire these off before they draw a bunch of cards here. Sure. I think they have to fight over this transmog on their Dark Heart. Sweet. You only have one resource up here. I'm gonna go transmog your thing, caress you. Have some much worse poopers. Finding my thing. I guess this just kills Dark Heart at this point, right? Maybe that's wrong because now I have to draw another one. Maybe I'm just supposed to send those at their dome there. I'm probably just supposed to dome them with those. Yeah, I think that was wrong. I think I did that wrong. I was probably gonna give them a better 3-drop now. I should probably have done this, but I don't know. I don't want to turn this into a... I'm gonna go ahead and guarantee a non-resource on top of my deck here. Then hit my loot power, draw another caress, and wish I would have killed them. Hopefully it's a bounty. 4 bounties and 19 cards. And guaranteed a non-resource on top. Feel like I mismanaged my resources a little bit this game. If we hit bounty, they should be dead. Mordrom's Gift. I don't have any troops in my deck, do I? It's a tanker truck. It's really sad. God, we could lose this game, couldn't we? This Runebind is an anti-counter card, so at least we weren't punished for this. It really sucks that there aren't any my Thunderfield Seers voided? No, I'm just through 2 of them already. Oh, they got voided by the glory. That's what happened to them, right? We might actually run out of win conditions this game. Because, like, I binned a Violet's Crest that I shouldn't have. No blocks. I'm at 39. Dark Heart, sure. I'm gonna sack this. I'm not runebinding or caressing yet because I want to see if we draw a bounty. Another runebind. Okay, that's actually really good. That means when we do actually make a move to try and force some amount of damage through, we'll be able to... When we do make a move to force damage through, we'll be able to double protect it. This is dealing 7, so 8 plus 9. So we're gonna need we need 3 bounties to kill them currently. Well, that's really unfortunate. Actually, it probably doesn't matter, right? Like, the random poopers they make from this are really pretty irrelevant. We're gonna win the game or lose the game long before those become, like, unless they're generating, like, exactly counterspells with this, we really don't care. I don't think I want to do that. I think I'd rather hold these to fight over counterspells. And actually, I'm gonna kill this here, because I can start pressuring with this, I think. Maybe I should have done this in response. Nah, I should probably just sacrifice this, actually. Halt. Yeah, I probably should have fought over that. No, details. Details. We're clicking instead of thinking. Alright, there's Thunderfield Seer. Go. Yeah, I should have fought over that. Should have fought over that, because then, not only is the Dark Heart gone then, but then I get to have another Caress in my deck. Only having 2 Caress in the deck means we could deck before we kill them now. Since we need to Caress them 3 times. I'm aware, Ace. You must be on a pretty sizable delay. Maybe refresh. Lord Royal Curator is cute. I have a lot of resources to spend on that. Adjudicator, sure. Oh, that's bad. That's still 3 though, right? It's gonna be... It might be more than 3, actually. We'll see. I'm sure we're about to just, like, draw Syzygies and hate myself. Focus. Violet's Caress was a great draw. There are prizes to the top 32 players. The cash prizes are to the top 4 players. Alright. Don't have 2 counters. We don't have 3 counters? Don't have 3 counters. Oh. Oh, please, dear God, let this resolve. Please, dear God, let us resolve and storm them out. Ah, they have another one. Oh, they didn't have another one. God bless. God bless us, everyone. These were Syzygies, alright. How much damage are these things doing at this point? 8 and the 9 is 17 exactly. But I don't have... Did I play a resource yet this turn? I don't know if I played a resource yet this turn. I don't think I did. I assume they don't have any interrupts. We need a non-slow shard. We did not hit a non-slow shard. Alright, caress you. Oh, I should have done this, right? It's like 10 out of 10 objectively correct to have done this. So many mistakes. Alright, well now we're gonna wait a turn on this. Alright, and I can't actually cast these, right? Because, like, they draw 8 cards. So we're gonna discard these because if I play them, I lose the game. If I play them, I lose the game. So these, in Hex, if you go to draw a card but can't, you lose the game. And Ace, to answer your earlier question, yes, we want 4 Caresses in our deck in this matchup. Oh. This Lorgwheel Curator could win my opponent the game. I would like the record to reflect that this physically hurts me to do. I'm gonna keep the last one. I can't discard 3 1-cost draw 8s. I won't be able to sleep at night. I won't be able to sleep at night if I do that. You're pulling through with only 2. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Watch them generate something from here that that mills us, and they just like mill us forward. We lose the game. Oh, they totally messed that up. They should Runebind this if they could draw more cards. Maybe they can't draw more cards. All right, well, my turn. So lucky, drew Violet's Caress. What you got over there, opponent? What a grind. Woo, they drew Weave into nothing. Oh, baby. Caress your opponent gently. Caress them gently. Smooches. Man, I don't know if this deck is good, but it's so much fun to play. It's so much fun to play. Is cutting transmogs right? Huh. I feel like I want another Withering Gaze. Like, going down to 2 gazes feels really bad in that matchup. So if I like this configuration, I feel like I want the extra gazes in the board, maybe. Yeah, it's just the designs that they have are so elegant in so many ways. Transmog all the 1-drops, right? I think I want this. This might be too much. I don't know. Let's try it. Keep going. What you got? What are we? Don't discard your escalate. Was that match almost an hour? We've only played that one match so far today, right? That was 52 minutes? Good lord. Lordy, lordy, lordy. We clearly won, didn't need any help. That's the takeaway from today. We won, deck's perfect. The only thing that's not perfect here is my play. Don't let them be countered when you have 2 Runebinds in hand. Details. We ended up needing those Runebinds. I would like the record to reflect. I'd like the record to reflect. Yeah, we ended up needing those. Alright, next victim. Mid-range deck. Okay, this could go either way. I think we're supposed to board into the Storm deck against the Blood decks. I think we're supposed to board into the Storm deck in this matchup. I cut the Massacres, which are actually pretty good against the Blood decks. Although I guess they're on like a more necrotic build. So my opponent's champions, for those that are new, for 4 charges, they sacrifice a troop to give an opposing troop -2/-2 permanently. So their champion power doesn't really have text against us, which is nice. The long games, they're a slog. A slog right on through. Naive Lackey, yep. Huh. So do I want to try and hit a resource drop, or do I just want to play this? I'm just going to play this out. It's less resource efficient, but I'm not really sure what I want to discard just yet. And we could just draw a resource next turn and then get to Heart's Whisper and then not make a decision to what we want to discard. Save these Theorizes for when we draw Aegiluses or Eternal Seekers. It also gives us one more chance to draw an Aegilus or an Eternal Seeker. Yep, there's a resource. Oh, we don't actually have the thresholds to cast Heart's Whisper here. But, Ace, another thing too, the thing I love about these Seers is that on the draw, you can play Seer on 1, and then we're able to Heart's Whisper on 3 on the draw, not discard, which is really great, because, like, there's definitely a lot of times where, like, you get really, you want to cast the Whisper, but, like, you don't have a thing to do. Where is the thing on the left? My deck tool must have crashed. I can't fix that midstream, unfortunately. It should repopulate when we get to reserving. No Withering Gaze here, otherwise we have to discard. I guess it might be merit to just rune binding them. Culmination in Blood. Yeah, that's a good one to get rid of. Again, I'm going to wait on this because we want to give ourselves the maximum number of cards to find a Fatty Boom to put into play. No, it's shown right now. I put it back up afterwards. My tool must have hit an issue. Some idiot wrote the deck list tool. You know, not surprising that it's not working. Alright, so we got 2 shots at an Eternal Seeker here to take these Infinite Tricks off the table. Otherwise, we're going to start using our Runebinds in a less than pleasant manner. The last 2 cards are Lackey plus Decree here. I'm going to start with Arcane Focus, give us the most looks at a fatty. Alright, there's an Aegilus. That's not very good because they have a Decree in their hand, though. And it gives us something we want to discard at least. Second Aegilus. Okay. I think I'm doing this for a while at this point in case we draw Rotten Rancor. Do I want to just Theorize here? I probably should have done this before I discarded, or before I played my resource. Yeah, because I hit that. Yeah, so I could have, like, played that and then, like, played Thunderfield Seer plus held Runebind up. And, like, had the option to gain a charge with that next turn if I needed to. Bind this dork. I think I'm runebinding the next dork too, actually. Oh, I can't. I don't have resources, right? Derp. Princess is annoying. Yep. This is a different match, yep. Alright, that's an Eternal Seeker. We're still just dead, right? We're dead because of my miss sequence, right? Oh, wait, I can runebind the Decree of Banishing, right? Okay. So we'll put Aegilus into play here. Put a little egg on their face. Sweet. I should have played this first because I could have drawn a prophesized card. No, this is the same deck. Sorry, this is the same deck. We're playing the same deck. So the deck that we're playing is Reanimator Storm because it has a Reanimator game 1 plan, and against control decks, we board into the Escalate Storm deck. Oh, that's pretty good. So they could have drawn a second piece of removal here now. Runebind this. And if they have a second piece of removal, we are just dead here. But, like, this was our line to win the game. We draw a non-slow shard. Next turn, we can play this Eternal Seeker and then void this Decree of Banishing the rune, so that way it doesn't get to come back and kill the Aegilus. So right now, we're invincible and don't take any damage. And our Thunderfield Seers don't take any damage. My opponent said, I did the wrong order. Yes, yes, they did. Because they could have drawn resources off of that sacrifice to recast this and kill us. Non-slow shard, please. Transmogrifade. Alright, so let's Theorize then. Looking for a reanimate spell. We did not find one. Been that for now. Now we're looking for another Runebind to be able to re-Runebind this. Missed again. I suppose I'm doing this now, and we just want to, like, give ourselves the most possible chances to hit this Runebind. That's a Rotten Rancor, so let's bin that. So if they don't draw a resource or removal spell this turn, we get to live another turn. And if they do draw one of those, I can Transmogrifade and then draw Runebind off the top. This is game one. Alright, they missed there. Hopefully it's also not a removal spell. It's another troop or something. If they did draw a removal spell, sweet. Hopefully that was the draw. Sweet. So now I get to go ahead and Rotten Rancor this other Aegilus back into play. Kill an Infinite Tricks, I guess. And now the Aegiluses make each other invincible, which means this can still void one of them, but then, like, they have to get through two Aegiluses. Play this out for now. Is there any reason to hold up this Transmogrifade here? I don't think there is. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play this Heart's Whisper here. They need to draw, like, a draw too. And they missed on this again, which means I'm going to get to... Which means I'm going to get to play this Eternal Seeker and void all of their 2s here. Which gets rid of this. And playing the Eternal Seeker to void the 2s probably locks the game up. Let's start with this, see what we find. Take an extra Transmogrifade just in case they get some annoying troops. My army is invincible! We are immune! Immune! Alright. No, he was supposed to be immune! He was supposed to be immune! Yes, I will sacrifice this one. Total sadness, yep. I might play this weekend, I don't know. I think if I want to win, I should probably play Redlings, but this deck's a lot of fun. This deck is a lot of fun. Am I supposed to turn into the Storm deck in this matchup? What do we think? Is this a matchup where I want to be a Storm deck? And, like, Aegilus was okay there, but I feel like it's actually not very good, right? Like, I feel like it was kind of a fluke that it ended up being okay there. Yeah, I am streaming this weekend too, so that's true. Like, the fact that I'm streaming this deck's more entertaining to watch too. We all know what you were gonna do. I love the smug fucking smile on that card's face. It's so good. It's so good that card is a smug smile. Think I want to do this. Leave a couple of gifts in, leave the Seekers in. I mean, I made some sequencing mistakes too, as well. If you aren't storming, why are you playing? Exactly. I'm gonna trim a gift here. Do this. Let's do this. Sorry, hold on, I have to shit on someone on the internet really quick. Just, like, drop my pants and poop. This hand's fine. My toddler's breaking stuff. I'll be right back. So, it's a brave and terrifying world where toddlers know how to open doors. Just, and for anyone that doesn't have children, if you have children and they're older, you probably understand this, but, so we have this closet under our stairs where we had, like, packed away a bunch of their toys. I was like, what is that smashing sound? It sounds like toys, but something's being smashed. Declan opened that closet and then was in there doing stuff and things. Because he's a pooper. I'm gonna play this for now. Can I get another threshold with this? I'm gonna wait on this to see what we draw next turn. I'm gonna transform the Dread End for now and then play this other Syzygy. They put speed in the Underworld Crusader. That's smart. They are definitely the beatdown in this matchup. Transmogrifade is a good draw. Let's focus here and see what we find. We're looking for resources at this point. Take a Thunderfield Seer. He's gonna jump for a turn. think I'm just gonna get a charge with this. Greed will prevail, right? Yeah, I'm a sucker for doing cute things like transforming sideboards as well, so I agree. I enjoy the transforming into a different deck. That being said, it looks like this is their just like 10 out of 10 their best start, just like speed 3 on 3, speed 3 on 4. Not need another one of these. For a resource. Hey, that's a resource. Runebind is interaction. This gets us to another resource. I think I'm supposed to bin this. Doesn't feel good, but I think I'm supposed to bin this. Play this and pass the turn. And a Runebind one of these. Transmog the other, most likely. Declan Scott. So, the fact that I've now drawn another Bounty of the Magus makes me feel really bad that I discarded that other one earlier, but like, I think it was objectively correct at the time to discard that Bounty of the Magus. I don't feel good about it, but I'm pretty sure it was correct at the time to do so. I'm gonna wait on this Champion Power because I'm not quite sure yet what I want to do with it. Hopefully they miss on this for a turn. They never miss on it for a turn. Alright, so we have to transmog this Vampire Princess. I could, like, roll the dice and, like, hope that they don't, like, that they hit the Sapphire Ice and, like, transmog this one, but that seems really greedy. We're going to 7 here. Alright, sweet. Straight End will be decent. Violet's Caress is also decent. It'll help us stabilize afterwards. We're dead to another Crusader here. Non-resource on top of my deck here, past the turn. I could, like, try to loot into another Runebind since the Runebinds are currently free, but I think I'd rather just wait a turn. That's fine. We're going to go to 4 here, and then the Violet's Caress will keep us alive through this attack next turn. Even if they draw a troop to sacrifice. That's really good. Wow, that's a good series of draws. That was a good series of draws. All right. I guess there's merit to maybe playing these first, so that way I could, what's the word I'm looking for? Hero Fall my Thunderfield Seer. Huh. Do I want the rest of the Seers in my deck or not? I probably don't, actually. I probably just want to draw actions at this point, right? Oh, we upkeep kill the lackey. That's interesting. It didn't occur to me that I could kill the lackey. Yeah, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. One plus 2 is 3 for those who aren't paying attention like me. Action. That's actually really good, right? Hey, get rid of your Grant's Gift. Yeah, I really don't need to do it at this point. Tilt. Alright, I think we're just going to try and turn the corner here. I don't want to die to a Speed Crusader off the top, so I'm just going to play this and then start attacking. I discarded a bounty this game, right? This was the game I did that? That's sad. What are these bounties drawing now? They're drawing 2 cards only? Ding. This is guaranteed non-resource for one of these 2. Hero Fall, sure. Ding. Ding. Boom, 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 bum, 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 bum. Oh, I started making noises and then we bricked off. Oh, wait, you get another redraw here. Doing it. Rats, we're so unlucky. Now that I have Runebinds and a Caress, I'm just gonna start attacking them. We might just kill them with this Eternal Seeker too. Oh no! My opponent doesn't want to play Hex anymore! Come back, opponent! I think I like the Thunderfield Seers in here. I don't know if I've cut the right cards, and I don't know if getting rid of the Massacres on the board for more Withering Gaze is right, but I think the Thunderfield Seers felt good in those games. At any rate, Jake's going to be home from school soon, so unfortunately I can't start another match that might run over because I have to be outside to help him get off the bus because he is only 3. He's little. He needs help getting off the bus. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to be live tomorrow morning with, or tomorrow afternoon with some more Hex. Follow me on Twitch or Twitter for notifications of when I go live with that. And then Saturday, starting at 9 a.m., I'm going to be doing a 12 or possibly 24-hour stream. I'm going to be streaming all of my matches from the Hex Bash 1K tournament this weekend. So Hex has those $1,000 cash tournaments every single weekend. And then in between rounds of that, I'm going to be streaming some Magic Online, and then we're going to be doing Magic and Hex for the entirety of Saturday, essentially. So thanks everyone for watching, and I will catch y'all around later.